County Auditor.
Oh.
Good evening. I just would like to take a couple of survey questions first. Give me a show of hands if you know who the current Lynn County Auditor is.
Yeah. Oh.
Also, give me a show of hands if you think the current auditor is doing a good job for Lynn County.
Look at the honesty there. Yeah. I don't know that he's not.
Who am I?
He's a Democrat.
Yeah,
Guard
he's a Democrat.
Foggerbox.
He's like
Now, how does a person with a name like that run for public office? First
Can
of
you
all,
turn it up?
Can you speak on the mic? Maybe get a little closer.
First of all, my first name is Garth. A lot like Garth Brooks, but no, I cannot sing at all. And my last name is 4 syllables, so it makes it very difficult to pronounce. Can't be an easy name like some of our other local politicians like Olson or Wagner, but if you take the first 2 syllables, it's Fogger, and the last 2 syllables are Baki, so if you put those together, it's Fogger-Baki. It's a Norwegian name, and it means beautiful hill.
All right.
The name that my grandfather changed when he migrated to the United States back in the early 1900s. A little bit of information. I've been a Lynn County resident and lived in Marion for 30-plus years. I'm married. My wife, Kathleen. Stand up, Kathy. And it happens to be our 30th wedding anniversary tonight. I have 3 daughters, Brooke and her husband Brent, and Allison and Erica. I'm a member of King of Kings, Missouri Synod Lutheran Church here in Cedar Rapids. And my claim to fame is Bill Foggerbaki. And if your children or grandchildren are watching the cartoon SpongeBob, he is the voice of Patrick Starfish. So that's my claim to fame. My experience, I've worked for Lynn County for 13 years. I worked in the auditor's office for 9 years as facilities manager. And then when the flood of 2008 came along, I was reassigned to the Board of Supervisors to work on flood recovery of the Lake County buildings as construction manager. As facilities manager, I maintained 12-plus buildings of 50,000 square feet at a budget of approximately $3 million and a staff of over 30 people. And with those tools, we were able to maintain the county buildings and make sure the infrastructure of those buildings were kept in good shape. As construction manager, I was involved in a lot more than construction. I was involved in the immediate flood recovery of being able to get the county offices up and back to the public. I was involved in planning what we were going to do with our county buildings, involved in the funding process and how we were going to fund, working with FEMA. Learned a lot about working with FEMA as far as what all the steps are required to successfully have a partnership with FEMA. Also managed the reconstruction of the buildings. And we had 5, right now we have 5 major projects. 2 of those projects have been completed, and we are about to complete the last 3 projects. So we're coming out of this flood in about a 4-year period, which is, by national standards, makes us somewhat of a model. So I believe that my county experience over the past 13 years, my understanding of how county government works, and my good working relationships that I have will help me be a good auditor. are running for auditor. I am running for county auditor because I believe my experience in both county government and the auditor's office will allow me to provide better leadership, better working relationships, and better fiscal management than what we have seen since Auditor Miller took office. Miller seems to be wasting taxpayer dollars with frivolous lawsuits. He has filed a lawsuit against the Board of Supervisors because they would not allow him to hire a deputy to do auditing at approximately $90,000 a year. And in this case, there is a lot of steps within the county as far as checks and balances that you really have to ask yourself, is it really worth spending that kind of taxpayers' dollars to have an internal auditor that is providing a lot of duplication of what already goes on in the county. Within the county, we have department heads, managers, and elected officials that review their departmental budget regularly. We have a finance and budget director that are reviewing audits, reviewing department budgets, and looking at spending. We hire a third-party private auditing firm to conduct audits. The auditor's office reviews claims and payrolls prior to authorizing them. The Board of Supervisors also reviews those claims and authorizes them, and they are published in the paper and on the website for the public to also review them. So having an internal auditor, you really have to ask yourself if it's worth spending those kinds of dollars to do that. Also, Miller has put out the point that since he's going to be doing this auditing, that it's not his goal to maintain good working relationships with other elected officials, department managers, department heads. And in times when our public is expecting more out of government, you have somebody like that putting up barriers within local county government, which creates issues on day-to-day operations of conducting business within the county. So, what would be some of the things I would do different? I would stop wasting taxpayers' dollars that I've spoken about already. I would use my good working relationships that I have already had in county government to restore good working relationships and image for the auditor's office. I would work with the facilities department as one of the departments that's under the control of the auditor's office. I would work with the facilities department to ensure they have the training and the tools and the skills to maintain the $50+ million worth of new buildings that we have constructed and are now open for the public. I would also look at improving some of the softwares within the auditor's office. One of those being time and attendance system. Most of the county departments, salaries make up 90–95% of their budget. And in some cases, some of the departments have an automated system where it's electronic, where they enter their times. You know, they punch in the morning, punch out at night. But some of the departments are still using simple handwritten timesheets. And so I think that it would be a benefit to Linn County if that process was all electronic and automated and be a lot more efficient to process. So that would be another area that I would look at. So in closing, I'm just here to ask for your support and spread the word that I am a candidate for Linn County Auditor. And I'd like to thank you for allowing me to introduce myself.
Anybody that has not checked in, could you please see Ann Rosenthal and Eric Rosenthal over here and make sure you guys get signed in? Because I do take attendance. Ann is the lady in red with the medal on front.
I'm going to sit over by the door.
Okay. Remember Ann Sitting, please check in with her. If you have not signed in, there was a few people that caught me that did sign in, and I will add it to their tab for doing it for them. But thank you.
Next up, we have a candidate for First District House of Representatives, Ben Lang.
Thanks, Steve, for having me. Appreciate it. Hey, I'll keep this short and quick, and I know you all have a busy life, so I want to make this important, though. As most of you know, my name is Ben Lang. I grew up about a half hour north of here in small town Quasqueton, Iowa. Population 499, and just like David Bloss said, my wife and I, when we had the birth of our first child over 5 years ago, we made a beeline right back here to Iowa, because this is by far the best place to raise children. There's no doubt about it. So I can certainly appreciate that aspect. You know, it was about a year ago, I think, the last time, or the first time, I'd come to Lynn County as a potential candidate. You know, I grew up north of here, and, you know, we come to Cedar Rapids to do our grocery shopping, go out to the movies, go out to eat, school shopping, those kind of things. But it was about a year ago, and I came to actually this event, the Chili Cookoff. And I can tell you, over the past year, I have received encouragement from folks, many of you in this room, all throughout the northeast side of the state, saying, Ben, we believed in you last time. Both organizational support, financial support behind you, we know you can do it this time. We are looking, as a nation, at one of the most profound moral failures, social injustices in America's history. What I mean by that is the national debt. It's been talked about here, our state situation, but our federal situation. And it's perpetrated not by one class of citizens against another, or one race against another, but by one generation against the next. Folks, I have 3 daughters, 1, 3, and 5 years old. And those 3 are $150,000 in debt before they can even ride a bike. And my opponent, I want to make very clear, because my opponent, Bruce Braley, is going to fly low under the radar here in Lynn County, and he's going to play the Tom Harkin playbook. And he's going to talk about how moderate he is. He's going to talk about being a budget hawk. He's going to talk about veterans issues, and his new one that you may have seen in the news recently is the child tax adoption credit. How many of you are going to go in the voting booth and determine your vote based upon the child tax adoption credit? Folks, it's because he doesn't want to talk politics. He doesn't want to talk about his voting record, about Obamacare, about the stimulus, about the bailout, about his 7 times to increase the national debt limit, about being the only member of the entire Iowa delegation to vote against a balanced budget amendment. The only member. Folks, this individual is the most liberal member of the entire Iowa delegation. In Lynn County, hasn't had the opportunity to be represented by him. But he's coming here. He is coming here, and he's going to do everything he can to win this election. And I'm going to tell you, we are going to go toe to toe, because we did it 2.5 years ago, and we are prepared to do it again. It's not going to stop, though, at the national debt. We're going to continue to talk about issues, about reviving the American industry based on free market principles. We're going to talk about reclaiming our education system to be tailored to the consumer. Who's the consumer? The parents. Not some bureaucrat, not some special interest group. We're going to talk about reviving humility in government. No more interjecting government into your most intimate health care decisions. For the first time in America's history, you're going to be forced to purchase a private product. And Bruce Braley supports it all. And I want you to know he's going to do everything he can not to talk about his record. Everything he can. Folks, this is a huge commitment. A huge commitment for my wife, for my family, for my parents, my in-laws, but we are all in. You know, actually, it's been over 15 years ago since I was in high school up in East Buchanan County. And played quarterback for the high school football team. We weren't too bad, Final 4 in the state. But every single practice, our football coach made the wide receivers, the running backs, and as a quarterback, me too, we would go down with the offensive linemen, and the defensive linemen, and work on blocking and tackling. And I hated it at the time. I hated working on blocking and tackling. I'm a quarterback. The running backs hated it. The wide receivers hated it. But why did we do it? I hated it at the time, but why did we do it? Because blocking and tackling wins games. Blocking and tackling wins games, and it's the same things with campaigns. Folks, there is no doubt about it. We are doing the blocking and tackling. We are putting the time in, we are putting the effort in, and we are putting the work in. But I need your help. I need your help right here in Lynn County. On these tables, all out here, and I'll finish with this. On these tables in front of you are handouts. On them is a brochure about our family, what we stand for, but in the back, you want to talk about blocking and tackling? How do we win campaigns? How do we win this? Because it doesn't matter who wins the nomination if you can't beat Bruce Braley in November. Blocking and tackling is at the back of that brochure. There's a supporter card that says, I will help Ben. I will help you walk in a parade, put up a yard sign, make phone calls, contact your neighbors, go on the internet for us. This is how we win it. There's no magic potion. There's no silver bullet. I'm asking you for tonight. Melanie and Austin, you raise your hands back there. Those are 2 interns with our staff. I am asking you to help us through the blocking and tackling. Fill out that supporter card. Be a part of our team. I'm not asking for 40 hours. I'm asking for 15 minutes. Help us win this. This is the fight for our future. And it starts right here in Iowa. And in the 1st Congressional District, it starts right here in Lynn County. You want to not know who holds the line? You want to not talk about who is the last stand? Look around the room. It is you. It is Lynn County that's going to decide this election. So I'm asking for your help. I'm asking for you to believe in this campaign. My family and I, as I said before, we are all in and we need your help. So appreciate the opportunity to be here. We will see more of you over the coming months, because we can win this election, and we want you all on our team. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
A little bit. Dan, somebody, would you like to spend a few moments come up? This is Dan Zumbuck for State Senate.
That is as tough as it gets. You have Auditor Vault, most dynamic guy I've heard tonight, until Ben Lang shows up. And now I'm supposed to top that. I'm a farmer from Ryan. So Ben, you're a fantastic guy. I've known his family for years and years and years, and actually I farm probably within 10 miles where his father-in-law farms, and he's a good guy. He's a good man. I'm Dan Zumba. I'm running for Senate District 48 in Lynn County. That excludes the metro area, but just wraps around Robbins and Hiawatha and Marion, goes down, picks up Mount Vernon, and then all the small towns in northern Lynn County. So that's the area that I'd like to represent. It was interesting when Dave Ott was talking, because I'm a numbers man also. And in 50 days, the corn that I'm going to plant tomorrow will be about a foot tall. In about 50 days, my son that's a senior in high school will be graduated from high school and basically be prepared to head to Iowa State. Thank you. And in 50 days, my intention is to be the Republican nominee for Senate District 48 with your help. So on June 5th, I need you to vote for me for Senate District 48. And that all happens in 50 days. Now, something else has happened. A gentleman from right here in Lynn County, his name is Kurt Haynes. Motivated. And Kurt and my new grandson, I have a new grandson, my daughter Chelsea had a new baby here about 2 weeks ago, and he motivated me. Kurt one day gave me some sound advice. And those of you that know Kurt, he looks you right in the eye, and he gets right in your face, basically says, Dan, I got a couple things I want to share with you. And one, he said, Dan, that beautiful wife of yours, take her everywhere you go, because she will help you generate income or money for your campaign, and she will help you get a vote. But she's home taking care of her kids tonight, so I wish she could be here, but she's working hard. And the other thing he said to me, and he looked me right in the eyes, and he was dead serious, he says, Dan, you need to lose some weight. He says, I know you work hard, I know you can run 100 miles an hour, I know you run a good business, I know you have a good family, but I want you to look like you can run 100 miles an hour. And Kurt was right. I took no offense to it whatsoever. I put forth a challenge. I was at the Delaware County Central Committee meeting about a week ago, and they offered me $20 a pound for my campaign that I lose. I went to Jones County. They didn't trump it, but they matched it. They offered me $20 a pound. Well, I'm here in Lynn County, and I know you'd really like to beat them. And so after the primary, because we do have a primary, I would appreciate any support that the Lynn County Central Committee could match and beat that, because you are Lynn County, and you certainly don't want to be behind your other counties. And I am a Weight Watchers, and so they will be the official tally for how much weight I lose. And we're going to go until the Monday before the election in November, because my intent is to win in June. And so the Monday before the election in November, and so far 19 pounds. That was in 6 days. So that's going very well. A couple other things that are going on. Emma Nemechek has offered to help me coordinate my signs here in Lynn County. So she'll have access to about 100 of those tonight. They're still in my truck, and I'll get them to her. So those of you that would be willing to put a sign up for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And as Ben said, it takes resources. Of all the things that this job does, I was prepared for, except how many dollars it takes to run a campaign. I know it's not right, but it is what it is. So I certainly need your support too. And you know, if you want to catch me afterwards tonight, or if you want to catch Emma later, I know she's going to help me coordinate some stuff here in Lynn County. I would certainly appreciate any support you could give me. I think that's the only things that I had to say tonight, but this has been an honor to be here and get to know the people here in Lynn County. The first time I came and I looked through this crowd, I didn't recognize a single face. You know, now I can sit here and name Steve, and Jim, Emma, and Eric, and name these people and consider them friends. So I thank you for everything you did. Vote June 5th. Vote for Dan. I really want to support Northern Lynn County. And I'll see you June 5th. And I'll see you in November. Thank you. Oh, okay, yeah, guess what the district number is? It's District 48. And it has all of Northern Lynn County. I live in Delaware County. It has all of Delaware County, so that's a perfect square. Then it has eastern Jones County, but it includes Anamosa and Monticello. It did pick up those metro areas. And then it has 4 townships in Buchanan, which does have Ben Lang's town of, oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Quasqueton, just misses. It goes around the outside of the town of Quasqueton. It does have Walker, so it's all in Northern Lynn County. So Walker, Coggin, Troy Mills, Curryburg, you're all in this district. Any questions? Don't forget to vote. Thank you. I do have one more. David Ball's still here.
No, he's not.
I wish he's here for a second. When he was talking about starting to be friendly confined in Des Moines, and how now that he has a governor on his side who wants to be fiscally responsible, and he has a House that wants to be fiscally responsible. And then I'll turn a little bit, and when Mr. Lang was talking about how Lynn County really could decide this election in the 1st congressional district for for Washington, Lynn County can decide this particular race. Senate District 48 is one that can add Senator number 26, so we can have a friendly confines in the Senate also. So it's really important. I want to be number 26. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Next we have Karen Blum.
Here we go.
I'm here to speak tonight, and I'm a housewife and a mom. I know something to speak for. That's my husband's forte. Anyway, I'm Karen Blum. My husband's running for Congress in the 1st District. So I'm trying to tell you a little bit about his campaign. Actually, more about our family. We have 5 children together, and we have one young man who came to live with us who was a former basketball player of my husband's, who was an orphan, who's father died in a drug deal in the south side of Chicago, and his mother died of cancer, so we took him into his family, into our family, and that's a wonderful experience. Anyway, we've got a great grassroots campaign going on. As you all know, Ben Lang ran for Congress last time, so we are definitely the underdog in this campaign. You know, they certainly have the 3-year advantage in the name recognition, but we're working hard and you know, certainly ask you all for your support. Rod will be at the district convention on Saturday, so if you have any questions for him, you can certainly contact him and see him there. For those of you that don't know anything about Rod, we run a business in Dubuque, digital canal software. We also develop land. My husband wrote a column for the Telegraph Herald for approximately 12 years, so his political views and opinions are very well established. As well as you can go onto our campaign website, he's got a lot of his issues on there that you can take a look at. My husband has many years of experience in the business world, and we feel that translates well into politics. And he's balanced the budget for 21 straight years. He knows what it's like to run a business. Campaigning has been a different issue altogether. So, what else? I guess 3 of the reasons I can think of off the top of my head why he's running are, number one, we've been extremely fortunate that through hard work and dedication and perseverance that we've lived the American dream. We've run a business. We've been very fortunate in that respect. But we don't think our kids and our grandkids are going to have the same opportunities. The business environment is very different. The rules and regulations are stifling, to say the least. So a big cornerstone around the campaign is living the American dream, and 80% of Americans don't believe their kids and grandkids have the ability or have the opportunity to live that American dream, and that's a sad state. Rod is a staunch believer in the Constitution and what the Founding Fathers had set up for this country. And he also believes that in this day and age, hard work and perseverance can be you can be rewarded for making bad decisions, and we need to get back to rewarding people for creating jobs and raising their families and not taking advantage of the system. Other than that, if anybody has any questions, again, we'll be at the convention on Saturday. Stop by, say hi. We'd love to have your support. We're building our campaign every day. We've got tons of volunteers. We don't happen to have professional Washington staff or, you know, the organization that, you know, Mr. Lang has had the opportunity to build over the last few years, but we're working hard, and we'd love your vote. On one last note, I wish Ben was here, and I'd be happy to ask his staff. We are getting numerous calls for debates, and it'd be nice to see a show of hands how many people would like to see the debate held. Okay, great, because a lot of the counties are calling us. We have responded. Rod's been very forthcoming with we will be anywhere, anytime. The debate is priority. Whatever else he has in his schedule, that would come first. So KCRG has called us and has called their campaign. We agreed to all 3 dates that they gave us. And we're waiting for a response from the Lang campaign. They would like to televise it along with the CRS's Biz Ed. We'll do that in another tape, right? Can't think off the top of my head. But anyway, you know, hopefully if you can all let Mr. Lang know you'd like to see a debate, we would love to see that happen too. Looking forward to it. Just want to make an announcement. Earlier today, we have
We have 50 people that became citizens of this country at the University of Northern Iowa. They are from 39 countries. So, yeah, and then the next naturalization ceremony is on May 18th here in Cedar Rapids at the Federal Courthouse. So if you guys are interested, let me know. And on May 8th, our Republican women, if you want to see more of State Auditor Dave Valls, is going to be there with Rod Zoom. There'll be the guest speaker. May 12th is our celebration. The Polk County Republicans and the Republican Party of Iowa, we have a booth there. We are representing the Lynn County. There's about 6 of us here that's representing Lynn County. If any of you want to volunteer even a few hours of your time with the Republican Party, we have a booth that's set up. It's for all the candidates, and, you know, so far, there's about 5 of us from Lynn County that's representing Lynn County. And last year, we had 42,000 people that showed up, Asians and other nationals. So they were there, and when Governor Branstad was running, he got to meet a lot of people, and that helped him with his vote, you know, because the Democrats started their own thing, too, because they knew that this is where you get the vote. So anyway, if you guys are interested, let me know, and I'll give you all the information. And also, on June 9th, this is after the primary, of course, the National Federation of Republican Women is sponsoring a campaign school. It's going to be at the Educare Learning Center. It's $100 per person, and we're going to tell you nuts and bolts, and it's limited seating. So if you guys are interested, any candidates here that's interested, please come and see. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Last but not least, Greg Rosenthal for State Central Committee.
Well, I've made the decision to run for the State Central Committee. I've been thinking about this for a while. Finally, Ann and I agreed that I should do it last Friday. So I've sent out emails explaining my reason why. The number one reason is that every fall, or every other fall, we get beaten by absentee ballots by the Democrats. And I met a gentleman, and maybe some of you have met him, Stan Gustafson from Madison County. He's a retired Marine colonel. And he has a method, and I think that our folks out there need to be trained in it. And I think the state party needs to take the other side seriously. My qualifications include that I was a candidate in 2008, and I won at the polls for the county supervisor, and I lost because of the absentee ballots. Another one of my qualifications is I've been a county chair right here, and so I released an email to all the county chairs, and we'll hopefully be getting one from Steve, and it explains in more detail about my run. But I'd appreciate your support in 4 days for State and Central Committee. And that's a group of folks, 16 now. There's 2 open spots in our district because Dave Chung's on it from Lynn County, and what's Shell's last name? Shell Atkins from Waterloo. So there's 2 open spots, and so I'm running. And I believe there's a couple other people here running as well. And so just to let you know about my candidacy, and encourage you to support me on Saturday. I appreciate that.
Eric, I got. How many candidates are allowed, or how many candidates are allowed in each county? You know, are you guys getting?
There's 4 in each congressional. There's 4 districts now, and instead of 5 districts and 3 State Central Committee members, there's now 4 districts and 4 State Central Committee members from each
Well,
district.
but those 4 Central Committee members, are they gonna be from? Is it necessary to be on the same county? Huh?
The state party recommended that we only allow 1 person from each
Per county,
to run.
okay.
I will tell you though, in District 1, there was a certain fat Greek in there, and we now have a rule that allows 2 people
in each county
from each county to be in there. But so that the rest of you know, we are the big, mean, awful Lynn County in District 1. We're the biggest county, and they don't like the fact that we have enough votes to put people where we want to. So remember, larger groups, larger coalitions are good, and the rules were changed so that if we elected Dave Chung, we could also elect a second person. Yes, Dave is running, and yes, Shelley is rerunning. So you get to pick 4 people, but a limit of 2 per county. And again, that's only in District 1. District 2, 3, and 4 didn't have a fat Greek available for the Rules Committee. Any other questions?
I know there's about 6 people running.
Yes, Shannon?
A point of personal privilege, could you flash the agenda back up for just a second?
We've already taken care of the convention stuff. We're on the fundraising and slides.
We asked David Chung to handle the district convention.
Yeah, he's already spoken on that.
Damn it.
So all the fundraising and other events that we have going on.
Do you have a question?